So casually keep diving into concrete, so bittersweet, huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying.
harsh, but I don't know how to get through to you. Because you don't seem to know that you are everything a girl could dream of. Baby, won't you hear me? Don't talk to me that way. 'Cause I think you're perfect for me, just the way you are. And I don't ever want to leave you. Baby, won't you hear me when I say, don't talk to me that way. 'Cause I think you're perfect for me, just the way you are. And I don't ever want to leave you. Baby, don't you talk to me that way. Don't talk to me that
What a night, people dancing in slow motion, blurry eyes. But I've had enough, it's time to say goodbye. 3 a.m. as I'm walking home with a smile. Smoky moon, like a shiver, all the shadows fade away. All your streets are empty, lights begin to sway. 4 a.m. as I think, oh, Stockholm love. Sometimes I picture how life had been in Paris or New York or Shanghai. But you know what they say, east or west, our home is best. Warming rays, golden sunlight Oh, Stockholm love. Stockholm love.
Darling, I would die for you. Tell 1,000 lies for you. Love you like the ocean. Love you in slow motion. Anything it takes to make you stay. But I can't rely on you. Doesn't matter what I do. You say you need a time. I think you mean a buyout. Cause it's pretty clear you're on your way out. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah. I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face. You're sorry. And I quit my job for you. Even quit some friends for you. Cause you couldn't stand it, me all independent. So you had to have me for yourself. That was when I trusted you. When I could add up 2 and 2. When you promised we'd be together, you, me, forever. Now there's nothing left to lose. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah. I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time Maybe I can't let it go. I am looking for a fire to keep me on the line. A fire with a dazzling light. And I don't know if I am closer. Still looking for a fire in the end of the night. So don't hide it, 'cause I know that you do. I know that you do. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. Before it's over. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. I remember when you told me it's alright. Don't know why I could not see. We have to stay together now.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy J Red Unfiltered, and we are back with another live stream. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Hopefully, we can have a little chill day because I understand that I've been busy dealing with certain cults, and I acknowledge that that may not be what all of you are here for. So I kind of want to diversify a little bit. It doesn't mean that I'm getting off their necks, because at the end of the day, everybody that knows and has watched my channel, you know that I'm all about tackling issues that I believe are detrimental to Black culture. And it doesn't matter how thick-headed, it's not about trying to reach them, it's about reaching everybody else. Noah's Ark was not meant for everybody, and that's the truth. So with that being said, I just want to say, first and foremost, shout out to each one of you that's tuned in and watching. I appreciate you. You could be doing anything, you could be anywhere, but you're here like kicking it with me, and I just want to say that I appreciate you for that, genuinely. So with that being said, because this is gonna be more of a chill stream today, I'm a let's see. I want to have a few different conversations, right? And first and foremost, have you guys are you guys familiar with this new sensation that they got going on the internet right now? This balloon pop dating, these situations where these people basically go on the internet and they're critiqued, and the person, or these eligible bachelors or bachelorettes pop the balloon based off of whether the person meets their qualities or whether they live up to their standards or not. And let's just be honest. I honestly, I want to have a conversation about this because I saw a particular type, and I think that this conversation goes into a lot of the conversation that I used to have, which is about these crazy these crazy these crazy dating standards that people have. So I'm just I'm just being real. This is yeah, this is not the show for that. So so yeah, basically at the end of the day, yeah, and just to be clear, this is not no Hebrew Israelite show. So if you came for anything Hebrew Israelite related, you just this is the wrong night. It's the wrong night. I'm not doing it. Come back tomorrow. I got all the smoke for y'all tomorrow. Come back. Yeah, this is not Hebrew night. Y'all are dismissed. Otherwise, y'all more than welcome to stay and enjoy the show. But this is not none of that. Just so you know. So, but anyway, what we What we gonna do is we gonna talk about this balloon pop show, and because I think that it says a lot. Okay, I guess y'all don't listen. No, I guess y'all don't listen. So I'll put it in the chat. This is not a black Hebrew Israelite show. Come back tomorrow. Ping. Yeah. So now that we've addressed that, now let's go ahead and get back to the regular scheduled program. So what we are going to do is we are going to take a look at this balloon pop this balloon pop show. And because honestly honestly this is crazy, and I feel like it says a lot. It says a lot about the culture. Um James, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying though, like this not what this show is not for y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go away. Y'all not I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Come back tomorrow. I got all the smoke for you. I got all the smoke for you won't. Trust me. Y'all aren't my guests. What are you talking about? Y'all not coming here with goodwill and good intentions. This is just like I said. I'm chilling. I'm not gonna be sitting up here debating and arguing with y'all. Anyway, and Tony, just for you, just for your trolliness, just because I'm gonna pretend like I'm in a particularly good mood. Just so you know, I just want to dispel this right now. I just want to dispel this notion right now because honestly, let's just be honest. I don't. Nobody needs to talk about the Hebrew Israelites for content. Nobody need. First of all, I'm not. I'm not even. I'm not a Christian YouTuber. Like, yes, I am a Christian who is a YouTuber, but I am not a Christian YouTuber. So I'm not gonna just sit there. Like at the end of the day, I spent more than enough time going back and forth with y'all consistently. So I'm diversifying. Come back another night. Like, come back. Like I said, I got all the smoke for you. I got all the smoke. But I don't have to talk about y'all. I talk about y'all because it's relevant and it's important. But it's not because I have to talk about you. There's so many things that I can talk about. You're honestly, when you have to go out in the world and listen to people yelling and spouting nonsense, and you see it going on, like, come on, it's just crazy. But at the end of the day, y'all, like I keep saying, y'all aren't that important. Y'all aren't that important. In fact, y'all video, like, if I really was to break down the stats, they're like let's be honest. I mean, engagement wise, yeah, y'all Negroes be arguing in my comment section a lot. But if we just being honest, I mean, I've gotten more views making other kind of content. Like, so can we just kill this anyway? Like I said, so it's not a Hebrew Israelite show. If you here because you a Hebrew Israelite and you got smoke, then come back tomorrow. Cause we're not doing it tonight. We're not doing it tonight. Absolutely 100%. So anyway, and that's not true. It's not true either, Tony. You're not my views. I've gotten more views talking about other stuff, like I said. But you guys obviously think the world revolves around you. You know what I mean? The world doesn't revolve around you guys, apparently. Apparently, but like I said, come back tomorrow. I got all the smoke for you. Literally. I promise you I do. I promise you. I promise you I will give you what you want. But if you are here because you're a Hebrew Israelite and you want smoke, you're not getting it. I'm not dropping the link tonight. There, spoiler alert. There is no link dropping. There is no link dropping. Bye. God, y'all annoying. Well, anyway, now that we get those the cult trolls out of this way, I'm going to look at this because I think that this video right here specifically is just absolute nonsense. Like, it's just oh man. So guys, I specifically saw this one because I think that this one just shows how egregious this fad has really gotten. It's just gotten out of hand. It's really gotten out of hand. And it's just it's just crazy. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and look at this because this is insane.
Welcome, everyone. It is the churchy date, Pop a Balloon or Match for Love. We are here to have a good time in the Lord, and we want to thank Arletta for that witty invention of Pop a Balloon for Love, because we definitely wanted to use it over here at the churchy date, and we'll enjoy ourselves doing it. We have a panel of beautiful ladies, and they look good in the Lord. So we are going to have our gentleman come in shortly, and he will come in and do the whole Pop a Balloon match situation. Come on in, gentlemen. All right. Praise the Lord. Ooh, he gave us the ooh. Come stand right here. All right. So tell us about yourself, your name, your job, and what is your favorite worship song?
Okay, my name is Shannon Lilly. I work at UTA right now as a marketing and administrator. So I have a heavy sports background. Played basketball at DBU, and so yeah, I want to get back into the sports world as well too.
Okay, awesome. And your favorite worship song? Do you love them?
Praise is what I do.
Oh, praise is what I do. Oh, I thought you were gonna go and get into.
Okay, wow. So this is gonna be my problem number one, right? This is gonna be my my problem number one is out of all the things that you could ask somebody on a dating show where you're supposed to be looking for a mate, right? The first two questions, the very first question after who are you and what do you do is what's your favorite worship song? That's what we in for? Sheesh.
part a little bit, but I'm not the best singer, so.
Okay, what are you looking for in a lady?
You want to know how Hebrew? Ooh, I'm gonna cut this out when I load this video. But you want to know how Hebrew Israelites how you want to know how they terrorists? The reason why you want to know how especially they're terrorists. The name of this stream was a chill stream, and y'all come over here trying to make smoke. What's wrong? What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Like, golly.
Someone that wants more in life, has deep passion to want more, and just not content with, just being average in life, want more, high dreams and aspirations.
Yes, absolutely. So we have all of these balloons still open here. That means that they want to
She ain't listening to none. He's saying, oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
know more about you. So let's go ahead and take a look here.
Okay.
Go to our first lady here.
I guess my question for you is, what do you believe makes a good partner or a good spouse? What do you believe makes a good partner or a good spouse?
A person that you can connect with, having an open communication with that person, being on the same page, just being open and, having effective communication with them, understanding them deeply. So.
And is this a lady that you would be interested in usually?
Yeah, she's pretty beautiful. She's pretty nice looking.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
beautiful,
Yeah. Okay. Any questions that you have for her? And you tell us your name.
Yeah, my name is Erica Hanna.
Okay.
I'm a program manager for a startup company for cardiopulmonary rehab. So I'm in between churches. So I currently do go to Social Dallas. So.
Any questions that you have?
Not right now.
Okay.
Not right now.
Do you want kids?
Of course. Of course, definitely.
Do you have kids already?
Negative.
Yeah, nameless. It's
Okay.
A few that's
Okay.
decent.
Okay. We had a pop. No. Why did you pop your balloon?
There's a few that's decent. Yeah.
Because I'm 35
Wait a minute,
first
what?
off, and
What did she pop the balloon
almost
for?
35, and I'm in between churches. So I currently do go to Social Dallas. So.
Any questions that you have?
Not right now.
Okay.
Not right now.
Do you want kids?
Of course. Of course, definitely.
Do you have kids already?
Negative.
Okay. We had a pop. No. Why did you pop your balloon?
Because I'm 35 first off, and almost 35, and I have no desire to have kids.
That's what you need to know starting out. So that's good. Tell us your name and your occupation, and what's your favorite worship song?
All right, my name is Angel, and I currently work in marketing and finance at a retailer. And my favorite worship song, I have to say "Won't He Do It" by Corinne Hawthorne, because
Won't he do?
See, this is how goofy a lot of Christians are. Like, what is the relevance of the worship song? What, I don't understand that. Yeah, nameless. You're not lying. She was. But it was a few. It was a few up there that's decent. What is the relevance to keep asking? What does a person's favorite worship song have to do with it? So you telling me if their favorite worship song is a hymn, is that gonna be any less significant than if it's elevation worship, than if it's a William McDowell or William Murphy? Come on, man. What are we doing here?
hey, he said he will. Come on, vocals. Yes. All right. That is. But my question for you initially will be, what do you do in your free time?
That's a good question.
I like to work out. I like to play the game a little bit. Hopefully that's not a red flag. Netflix. Yeah, applying to jobs as well too. I've been doing that a ton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the market is very competitive, but yeah, for sure.
Okay. Let's see. So you said you don't have children. Question: where would you go on your honeymoon? What's your desired location?
Okay, so I've been to Hawaii, been to Spain. Nigeria sounds pretty fun. Yeah, Nigerian. Had some teammates back there, so yeah, I'm very adventurous for sure. I recommend everybody travel as well too.
Absolutely. Okay. Oh, we got a pop here. Let's
guess you
come
don't like
down this way.
traveling.
Let's come down this way. Hello. Tell us your name and tell us. Oh, you turn to this side.
Okay.
Here.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us your name and tell us your occupation and tell us what age you got saved.
Traveling is a red flag.
Oh, that's a good question. So my name is Nina. I'm an asset manager for a bank. And the age that I got saved, it was very early, probably about 5 years old.
Why'd you pop your balloon?
I popped my balloon. I think you're very handsome,
Thank you.
and I really liked all of your answers.
You're
but
cute as well, too.
Thank you.
Cute.
But but to be honest, you said that you don't have children and you do want children. I don't want any more children. I have one child, so
Oh, God.
my
Oh.
ideal would be someone who has children and doesn't want any more children.
Oh,
So
boy.
there's a reoccurring theme here. Does anyone else on the
boy.
panel
Oh boy.
here looking to not have children? All right, good. So we got that out the way. Okay. And how old are you again?
I'm 30.
Okay, 30. Okay. So we'll go back up to the front here now that we've got our pops, and let's meet our third. Okay, yes. We want you to start narrowing it down. So have some questions. We're going to meet her first, and then we're going to have you start narrowing it down, ask some questions, okay?
This is
Tell us your
insane.
name, your occupation, and tell us what ministry do you serve in, if you do at all.
I agree, Nameless. That was kind of weird. Like, why would you pop the balloon? You know what I mean? Like, why would you wait until he's talking about traveling to pop the balloon if you knew that you didn't? I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, nope. Don't do what the Romans did. Nope. Spread yourself too thin.
Like with church or do? Okay.
I don't like talking to Christian girls. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't. And it's a reason why. But yeah, nameless, you're absolutely right. She did him a favor, both of them, honestly.
Got you. I'm
First
Michelle,
one was
but I go
decent,
by
but
Mimi.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
community
yeah.
center supervisor, and I go to Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship.
Yeah, I've been there before.
How do you handle disagreements in relationships?
That's a good question.
The way I handle it is, it's a quote that I always say. Oh, agree to disagree. Sometimes you just gotta agree to disagree and be the bigger person when it comes to disagreeing, because we never know.
Oh
who's
no,
right.
he a weak dude. Oh no, he weak. Oh, how you? No. Nope. Nope. I know I'm labeled the Hebrew hater, and this is one thing. Look, okay, this is one thing that we might have similar beliefs on, except for I'm not. Well, no, let me take that back, because y'all always take it too far. Always. Coat, once a coat, always a coat. It's gonna run through it. Never mind, can't associate myself with y'all. What that guy is, he's kind of weak. Because at the end of the day, you can't be the head and then talking about we just gonna agree to disagree. This is a Christian. This is Christian dating, so I'm assuming that they would be living by Christian values, right? So if we're going by the Bible, I'm just saying, if you just talking about like that, I'm not saying that there isn't room for negotiation, and you should definitely take into account what your spouse is saying. But I'm just saying, no, bro, like, maybe that's not what he meant. Maybe answer it better than that. I'm just saying that didn't sound too good, bro. I'm just saying, like
all the time, and it's not about being right. You know, it's about keeping their relationship positive,
And that's fair.
moving forward in the
See,
relationship.
sometimes you just gotta let people finish talking, and that's fair. I'm not against that. I promise. Look, I'm not against that. I'm just saying that it's like, when they like, yeah. I believe that like the right woman can be like the biggest asset. So it's like, of course, you would take into account and you would take her feelings into account, and you would literally, you know what I'm saying? You would consult her about things, of course. So, of course I'm saying that. But you like, okay. So let's say for instance, right? Let's say for instance, we're talking about in matters of whether your daughter would be allowed to have a boyfriend spend the night over her house, right? Are you gonna agree to disagree with the mom that that's okay? When you know that that's not right, and that's not the way that it should be. I'm just saying. I mean, like, come on, man. You gotta think stuff like that comes up. Me personally, I've grown up with parents that fight and all that kind of stuff. When they don't agree on stuff like that, somebody has to be the leader, and if it's not gonna be the man, it's gonna be the woman, regardless of what you think. So I mean, I understand what he's saying, but I'm just saying, it didn't sound good, buddy.
Okay, so we want to make sure we give time for everybody, but we also want to make sure we get time for the other gentleman too. So we're going to ask some questions. He's going to ask some questions to you guys, and then he'll make his selection to Pop. We'll get a pen for you. Can we borrow yours? Yes. Thank you so much. Here you go. Okay. And so you can ask.
And just to be clear, Tony, I'm not agreeing with you at all. I'm not agreeing with you. What you're saying is not true. It's not true. I'm not agreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying that I just didn't like his answer. You know what I mean? But,
ask questions. You can narrow down right now and see where you're at.
Okay. Does anybody have kids? Sorry.
It's so loud, isn't it? It's the sound of.
That's how they get down on this show. Oh, that's how they get down on this show. Jesus Christ. Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy work. That is crazy work.
Fix. But shut up in your bones. Go ahead. And you can narrow it down by question. You can narrow it down just by.
Just to be clear, I don't. Some people, I mean, if some people that's a deal breaker, some people is not. You know what I mean? To each his own. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about that. I'm like, I don't think it's anything wrong with dating somebody with kids. You know what I mean? As long as you guys can work out an agreement where, everything remains respectful on all ends, I don't have a problem with it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, it's just, yeah, that was just funny. That caught me off guard. He did that quick.
But the spirit is telling you,
okay, all right.
You can go ahead and pop. Okay?
What?
Now let's hold on a second. Now, why did you pop the balloon here for Dr. Angel?
She's very pretty, very gorgeous. I love her jewelry. But yeah, just a feeling.
That's fine.
Beautiful young lady.
Because we're here for the right match, not just any old match, amen? Okay, so go ahead. And what made you have Pop here?
She's beautiful as well.
The spirit led you that way.
There you go.
Now, let's be very clear. One thing that's for sure, and two things for certain, the ladies up here today gave. They ate in the Lord. So
they not lacking in nothing.
That's how it is, okay? Go ahead and do your narrowing down here again.
Okay, so I think these two young ladies kind of got my
I mean,
attention.
I love
Okay.
it.
Any
I'm
reasons
just-
why?
I mean, yeah. I get it. I get it.
Anything in particular?
Probably, the way they look for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, they seem more interesting as far as their appearance.
Okay. Did you have any questions for him? Tell us your name, your age, your occupation, and questions.
That was a lot of questions. Y'all gonna have to help me to remember. But my name is Hope Martin, and I am 32 years old. You said occupation. I'm a digital ministry consultant at Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship Church. And I'm very serious about serving. So my question is, do you serve at your current church?
That's a good question.
I have served at the current church, but right now I'm looking for a church home right now. But I was born and raised in church. I played the drums.
Musician.
Deacon. My mom played.
Hey, as a fellow church musician, just know that everybody does not have that bad rep that they have, just so you know. Just thought I'd put that out there.
Keep your mic up.
So I have a lot of experience in the church.
And how many instruments do you play?
I played the drums a little bit, and my mom played the piano.
So if you were at a church, would you be playing the drums or a piano, you think? Depends.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Any questions that you have for her?
Let me see. So what are your goals and dreams for your job career?
My goals and dreams for my career is to make sure I'm doing passion and purpose work and always follow what God is leading me to do. That's where I'm at in my career right now. Where I'm currently working is a part of my testimony story. So I'm focused on doing digital work in churches.
Okay, that's good.
Awesome. OCBF in the house.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yes, go ahead.
What are your hobbies? What do you do besides church? And we both know the church. We know the Bible.
I like to sing. I like to dance. I like to read. I like to do random tourist trips inside of my city. So I like to go to coffee shops, go to candle making classes. I'm very random and spontaneous.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. And tell us your name, your occupation, and then tell us your favorite worship song.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Jones. I'm I'm a manager at an education nonprofit in Dallas, and we support under-resourced schools in our community. My favorite worship song is "Trust in God" by Elevation Worship. Yeah.
Good pick.
Any questions that you have for Shannon here?
What is your relationship like with your family?
Good.
It's great.
Okay. Well, okay. See, she's already won. She's the only one that's actually asked that. This is so superficial that it's just silly that something like that would just be a question that would stand out amongst all the questions that have been asked. Because I mean, think about it. None of them have really asked about they've asked about disagreements and stuff like that, but none of them have really asked about family, how they get along with each other's family, how they value family, where family lies on the totem pole of their life, like things like that you would just think, would be more important than what your favorite worship song is. I mean, I don't know.
Very close to my brother, very close to my mom as well too. We talk basically every day. Very close.
Excellent. And any questions that you have for her? To help you narrow it down, because you can't go with two.
Yeah, I think I could just go ahead and pop.
Okay, you're ready? Okay. Woo. And why did you pop the balloon here?
I just think I prefer her. She seemed like she's more my type, and the things
What?
said about her career. I think we'll be a pretty good match.
All right. Well, let's bring it on over here.
Okay.
Hold on. What? Hold the phone. What?
Any questions that you have for Shannon here?
What is your relationship like with your family?
Good.
It's great. Wonderful. Very close to my brother, very close to my mom as well too. We talk basically every day. Very close.
Excellent. And any questions that you have for her? To help you narrow it down, because you can't go with two.
Yeah, I think I could just go ahead and pop.
Okay, you're ready? Okay. Woo. And why did you pop the balloon here?
I just think I prefer her. She seemed like she's more my type, and the things that she said about her career, I think would be a pretty good match.
All right. Well, let's bring it on over here
Okay.
to the right. Come on with us. I think we got a match. Come on this side. Come this
I think
way.
she wants to do you want to choose me or?
Well, no, they're about to ask. Come on.
Oh.
Try to take my job. No, come on. Okay. So we have Shannon, and tell us your name again.
My name.
Yes.
My name is.
What? Wow. Ugh. Wow. Wow. That's interesting to me because, like, okay, let's just look at this from perspective, right? Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with any of the women up there, right? But you have one woman that asked a question regarding to family, right? And you have another woman who she already let you know that her focus is on her on her passions and her goals and all that kind of stuff, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but nothing really. Okay, first of all, the problem is the way they ask the questions when they're asking just one girl one question and then the guy is eliminating her based off of that answer. You know what I mean? He didn't give the other girl a chance to say like what her career was or what her goals were. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I think he just likes the girl. I mean, if that's what you like, I mean, that's cool. And I'm just saying, I thought it's just the reason why I'm playing this is because it's not even because I find stuff like this entertaining. You know what I mean? And it's just I look at it as a good case study because we have like standards are all over. And it's just crazy to me how even when you have what we looking at as a Christian show, right? Or this is the churchy date. This is targeted at a Christian audience, and yet and still, it's not much different than the world. I just think that's interesting. You know what I mean? I think that's real interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it through all this though. This is crazy.
Hope Martin.
Because like why? Bro, why? Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this girl. I'm just saying she didn't mention anything about family. Didn't mention anything about goals. Family wasn't mentioned in anything that she mentioned. Everything was about what she's driven by and her goals. And like I said, I don't think that that's inherently wrong, but I think it just depends on what you're looking for. And I thought the goal of these shows were to start, like, were to meet people and to start families. Like, you eliminated other girls because they didn't want a family, or other girls eliminated you because you wanted a family. So you got to make sure can't misspeak. We got these trolls here now, but yeah, this is wild. This is wild. I'm only gonna do a little bit of this, and then after that, I'm definitely 100% be making fun of Biden for the rest of the night, because Joe Biden is going through it.
Yes.
Hope Martin and
Shannon.
Now, Hope, choose ye this day. Will you say yes to Shannon as a match?
I'm undecided.
Oh, well, listen, choose ye this day. That means you got to choose now. You got to say. Now, what you decide to do after the fact is up to you. Shannon, do you
Decide to do after the fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Shannon, do you choose
Yes.
yes? Do we have a match? Do we have a match? Come on, God.
Does wearing hats cause hair loss? Of course not. This is the Hims topical finasteride and minoxidil spray.
All right, so thank you guys. We are going to bring the next gentleman in, and you guys go ahead and converse amongst yourselves. Now, a match is just.
Like I said, I'm not gonna be able to watch all of that, but that's crazy. That's crazy. Like when you look at how these days, like, oh my goodness gracious, what is going on? Now, now what we are going to do next is I am going to look. I want to have a conversation about
right along to
this situation.
So now
that I just saw that happen, because I think that this is a great another great case study of a problem that we have as a culture. And by we as a culture, I mean that it's just like we think that just because we yell a bunch of nonsense about racism and white privilege and all that kind of stuff, that makes our point any stronger. And so before I get into this, like I said, I'm 100% gonna be making fun of Joe Biden. I want to look at that presidential debate and just really just look at his mental decline. So anyway, so what we have here is Brittany Renner. You know, Brittany Renner, the hide your son, the hide your son, hide your hide your basketball player, the woman who 100% is terrorizing young men by going around, and it's just. Yeah, no, you absolutely, yeah, nameless. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna get into it because that guy he's shot. He's shot. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about this real quick because this little altercation I think is really funny. I think it's really funny and it's really telling.
So now we're moving right along to a segment called Panel Pull Out. Pull out. I see what we did there. So each host will pull something from the internet or socials that they would like to address with that specific host. Sounds a little messy. We're gonna start with Pearl.
Sounds so messy.
We're gonna start with Pearl.
I'm first?
Yes. I mean, yeah, first, yeah.
Okay, so I saw something that you retweeted, Brittany. And it was something about it was something about female intuition.
Okay.
And I just don't think female intuition exists. I think female intuition is terrible.
I think it's terrible in what way?
We make terrible choices as women.
So for those of you that aren't familiar with Just Pearly Things, she's always been notorious for her outrageous takes. Some of them valid, some of them kind of crazy, you know what I mean? But she's always been good at ruffling feathers, if you know what I mean. And so that's where a lot of this energy is going to come from that you're going to see. And that it's just, whether it's valid or not, I already know, you know, people are racist, so they're going to feel how they want. And it's just funny. It's just funny.
So people will always say, oh, my female intuition, I knew because of my female intuition. And yeah, I don't think it's really a thing.
Well, intuition, just simply put, is heightened awareness. And so it stems from when women were at home with children and had to be tuned into what was going on. So intuition doesn't just stop at children, it's across the board. So if you aren't tuned into your intuition, that's a you thing.
No. I just look at the choices we make, you know.
We are you.
We as women. I mean,
let's think about you. What kind of choices
look
you make?
Look at.
What kind of choices do you make?
Okay, what kind of choices do you make, Brittany?
But you're the one who's, we're talking, you're saying that females don't make good choices,
well,
so
look at, we own the majority. I have no debt, right? But women in general.
That's because you're from a rich family, girl.
In general, women,
you're from a rich family, so what are you talking about no debt?
Here we go with the white supremacy, the white privilege, and the no debt. You know what I mean? It's just, here we go.
Women in general have a
congratulations. Like you don't get fish don't get applauded for
I'm
swimming.
lucky. That's why I said I'm lucky.
Okay, so for you, so why lead with that? So why lead with that? So why lead with that?
You asked for an example, and I'm going to give it to you. Do you want me to start?
Girl, okay.
Okay.
Let me tell you what
let's talk about
what we're not gonna do, because you have a history of doing this. Because
that's just crazy to me. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because at the end of the day, I mean, instead of like, how is she actually addressed? Like, she's not addressing her point. She's not addressing her point. And the main point is that women have bad intuition. Brittany's not the woman. Like, Brittany Renner is not the woman who needs to be arguing on account of women making good decisions. She was on the internet crying about her baby daddy, about her baby daddy issues. She was on the internet melting down, having meltdowns because of her bad decisions. So she's not the person to be having to be that aggressive and passionate. I think Pearl is handling that with class, because you could easily point out the fact that she has kids out of wedlock and Pearl doesn't. So I mean, like, publicly at that, you did it publicly, and you were crying about it, mad about it, upset about it. So I mean, I don't know. It's just sick.
I'm familiar with you, okay? Girl, what you like to do is you like to say these really stupid fucking comments, right? And then so what you do, then you like sit back and then you're like, you think you're so smart, you have this fucking smug ass look on your face, and then you're waiting for someone to give you that like emotional, like passionate response. So then you can sit there and be super dismissive and really kind of just gaslight. And I don't know, as a female.
Gaslight?
No. Yeah, do you know what that word means?
You guys use it for everything.
You guys.
Go ahead.
Okay, you know what's funny about using you guys is seriously, it kind of feels like the only thing.
That gaslight is definitely one of the most overused words out right now. Definitely. 100%. Don't even know what it means. Don't even really know what it means.
That is actually feminine about you is that you have a vagina.
Okay.
Because I feel like, there's like a man on the panel.
Okay, and what's feminine about you, Brittany?
Everything is feminine about me.
Oh, come on. Like, I'm not trying to go personal here. So I don't know why you're trying to make this personal.
No, you made it personal when you led with, hey, I don't have any debt.
I don't know.
As if that's a flex because your parents have money.
You asked
What have you actually earned for yourself?
Brittany, you asked me. I'm saying in general, women own the majority of debt. We don't make great choices. If we look at who we pick, let's look at romantic decisions. Women don't make very good romantic decisions in general.
I think there's a point that needs to be made, though, and that's the fact that what I heard Brittany say earlier was she's talking about people who have there's a deep heightened intuition, and I think where the conversation is splitting is the fact that you're actually talking about people who don't have that, who have it turned off, who are disconnected
like her.
From their intuition, who don't make poor decisions. We make poor decisions. Like when we actually go down to the root of why it is that we make these poor decisions, there's layers and layers and layers and layers to it. And more of it is going to come from just like the science and backing that you kind of put into collective bundles that ultimately just come from who? The white man that you were raised by. So when it comes, that's
the reason that she doesn't have any debt.
I'm just saying, so there's a certain level of understanding that's not there.
So that's not you making a decision, that's you being born into white.
This is so silly. Oh, man.
We need you to acknowledge that. So that's not a decision that you made. That is the way you came into this. And honestly, girl, you're a family of like 9 or 10. Like all that's how your dad set you up. So there are things that you genuinely did not have to experience. You don't fucking know. You get to sit there again.
here we are again, another person, like another certain group that we know, just crying about other people not being victims like they are. Ooh, well, yeah, that definitely sounds familiar.
You're the same person. You are the same person that the last time I saw you accidentally. No, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up when I'm talking. And you get to go. You're the same person who accidentally.
You don't think that that's out of pocket? That's a little out of pocket, don't you think? I'm just saying, there's no reason for you to be that hostile just because you disagree with her opinion or you disagree with her stance. You know what I mean? It's like, now if she matched that energy, now she'd be racist. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. You know, it's just
spent $50,000 and your dad was able to pay it off on your credit card. Yes, you did. When you spent.
I didn't actually.
You're the one who said an accident. I spent over my limit. That's what you said. That's what you said. So again, an unreal. That's what you said. That's what you said. The last time that I saw you. Yeah. So again, we're going back to you. Girl. What the shit that comes? That's what I'm saying. The shit that comes out of your mouth. You literally just say whatever.
What Pearl be having these heifers triggered. Pearl be having these heifers triggered. What is going on here? Like, just triggered.
Because honestly, you're fucking delusional.
Brittany.
No, Brittany. Go ahead.
Brittany, I do think there's one thing. I think there's one thing that we have to say. If you're gonna yell at me, I'm not gonna do the show. Like you don't have to. You don't have to scream at me. That's so disrespectful. You know, I'm not here to get like that's like you don't have to be rude. I don't.
I feel like Pearl, I mean, yeah, just leave. You don't have to say that. You don't gotta explain yourself. You don't gotta explain yourself. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like when like losers in the chat think that the stuff that they say is really bothering you. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to explain yourself. Just get up and leave, Pearl. You don't owe them nothing. You don't owe them nothing. They out of pocket. They out of pocket, and at the end of the day, they gonna see that they out of pocket. They gonna see that they out of pocket. But you know, it's just funny. It's funny. People just get so triggered, just so triggered. Like instead of like, okay, so. If Pearl had attacked her first, took a personal shot at her, but you could clearly see, clear as day, that Pearl was being gracious and was not trying to go there with that girl. So the fact of her coming with all that smoke and animosity, you know what I mean? Like, it's just silly. I mean, it's just silly, but you know, I mean, whatever. Whatever. I already know. It's people are gonna think that she's okay because she's black. It's just crazy. Nah, it's just crazy. Like now I am going to get into the meat, the meat of the show. You know what I mean? Cause you know we got. I've been saying this for so long that just Joe Biden is just not equipped. He's just not equipped to be president. He just doesn't have the cognitive function. And it's not right that they put him up there like that. And so it's just it's just crazy. It's crazy. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead.
46th President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Folks, how are you?
Look at the way he's walking. Look at him.
Great to be here. Thank you.
And please welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin the debate, and let's start with the issue that voters consistently say is their top concern, the economy. President Biden, inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then now costs more than $120. And typical home prices have jumped more than 30%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
Look at his face.
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president, what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right. The economy.
First of all, Donald Trump didn't actually say put bleach in your arm. He said something else related to bleach, but I'm like 90% sure that he did not say inject bleach into your arm. It was like spray it in the air or something like that. It was something crazy. It was something crazy that he said, but he didn't say inject bleach in your arm. It's
collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do is try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. We brought out the position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. But there's more to be done. There's more to be done. Working class people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton.
Did you inherit that bad economy because of Donald Trump, or did you inherit that bad economy because people in China? Can we say that yet? Can we say that yet? Because we all know where it came from, right? So I mean, that pandemic. I'm just saying that didn't have anything to do with Donald Trump. If that happened to you in your presidency, then the next president came in behind you and said, "And you be." This is comedy. This is comedy.
In Pennsylvania, I come from a household where the kitchen table, if the things weren't able to be met during the month, it was a problem. Price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of housing, the price of a whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal with those problems. And we're going to make sure that we reduce the price of housing. We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over. The combination, what I was left with in corporate greed, is the reason why we're in this problem right now. In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos, literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people, to $15 for an insulin shot as opposed to $400. No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year. Yeah. And the situation is and we're going to make that available to everybody, to all Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
Thank you. President Trump?
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never done so well.
Look, I'm not even going to lie to you. Trump is so arrogant. Dude, Trump is so arrogant and so smug. I miss this dude so much. First of all, we have the best economy. Come out the gate. I love it.
Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID, and when we did, we spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and
shout out to Trump for the stimmies,
wars, and so many other things.
I know the Hebrew Israelites. I know they all made enough to get every single check. Trust me. I know they all made just enough to get every single check.
Everything was rocking good. But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country. But other than that, we had given them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs, a bounce back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Now that's a valid point. That's a valid point. Like let's just really like dissect what Trump just said, because that's a valid point. That's a valid point. Joe Biden always notoriously is notorious in the left. They always say that Joe Biden got everybody so many jobs and so many people lost they well, those jobs that people got, a lot of people a lot of people still ain't working, number one. But two, a lot of those jobs are bounce back jobs. They're jobs that people lost during COVID. So they're just people that are getting back to work from which they started. You're not creating new jobs. You're just filling the void that was left by the old jobs. So the idea of trying to paint that you're doing something spectacular is just kind of, facetious at best.
Thank you. President Biden?
Well, look, the greatest economy.
Tony, I didn't get every single stimmy. I just got a few of them. I didn't get every single one. Like I said, I know for a fact that the Hebrew Israelites got every single stimulus check. 100%.
World. He's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks he had the greatest economy in the world. And, the fact of the matter is that we find ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant. And the military, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still finding ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying.
Tony, this is the last time I'm gonna address you, but let's just be clear. I don't get welfare, stupid. I don't get welfare, stupid. I'm not oppressed. I'm not some oppressed little Negro. So get over it. Like, dude, seriously, just I understand that this is the relevance that you sought your entire life, but Jesus Christ, come up with something better.
Anywhere in the world, like he did.
President Trump, I want to follow up if I can.
Am I allowed to respond to him?
Well, I'm going to ask you a follow-up. You can do whatever you want with the minute that we give you. I want to follow up. You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. How will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China. It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down, and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months, and then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing. It was probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
Yeah,
President Trump.
That was bad. And those of you that remember that was bad. That was bad when they. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the very next night. The very next night. Whoo-wee.
For the last 8 years, under both.
Whew. And yeah, 100%. It got very unpleasant. Those the first 2 years under Biden, it was very unpleasant. So I think we can't minimize that. And I mean, tariffs that's not gonna it'll make things more expensive if you're getting them overseas. But I mean, the whole point is to get things manufactured in America so that you can build up America's infrastructure. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't mind that.
Your administrations, the national debt soared to record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt, while so far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt. So, former President Trump, many of the tax cuts that you signed into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other.
Because when people spend money, that fuels the economy. You can't have an economy if people aren't spending money. If people have incentive to spend money and incentive to use money, then that circulates the economy. I mean, it's just
the country.
I don't know how to put
but
it
we
in plain.
spurred that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country. The country was going like never before, and we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet, the oil and gas right under our feet. We were going to have something that nobody else has had. We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable situation with all of the therapeutics and all of the things that we came up with. We gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it, something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent, all of the things he's done. We've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country. And I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
Look at his face.
He had the largest national debt of any. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system.
If the wealthy benefit, then everybody benefits. The wealthy run the country, not the poor people. I'm sorry. Poor people don't have money to circulate in the economy. The rich people fuel the economy. They support the economy. The poor people stimulate it. It's funny. It's funny how that works.
For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID.
Do y'all know that under Joe Biden they passed this law that basically got it was okay. So for those of you that don't know, that there was this thing that people were doing where they were using Cash App, PayPal, Cash, all that stuff to pay money under to get paid and not have to pay taxes on the money that they did for stuff, right? So they just say, oh yeah, just Cash App me, right? So people would do that to avoid to avoid these taxes and these penalties, right? Well, the Biden administration basically introduced these rules, and these rules that they introduced actually they raised the minimum amount that you have to report astronomically. The minimum amount that you have to report when you use these services for transactions, right? So the funny thing about that is, right, because they claim that it's targeted is to keep better tax tracking for the wealthy, right? Well, when you look at the Democratic Party, a lot of them are wealthy, right? But when you look at what this rule, this law, this policy that they put in place, when you look at it in practice, it actually targets the lower income people, the actual people with the less income. So this is what I'm talking about when I say black people are some of the stupidest voters politically, because they vote opposite of their interests. Donald Trump, people were making money. People were making money. Joe Biden, the same people are making money, but guess what? They're penalizing the less wealthy. That's a fact. 100%.
Dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right.
Look at him. He couldn't even finish what he was saying. It's sad to watch. I'm going to be honest. Sad to watch. Look at him. He don't even realize that his time is up.
Did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe out Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence, and it's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. Foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people, they cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us. What this man has done is absolutely criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This morning.
Yo, what's going on, Marcus Harrison? Hope you've been well. Tiffany, why are you going back and forth with these clowns? Oh man. Biden wants to give. Yeah, he wants to. Yeah, I believe so. When you say give, you mean like give in, right? Yeah, that's what I think so too. I think in his heart of hearts, he knows he doesn't want to do this. I think he wants out.
The court.
It's hard. This is hard to watch, guys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's funny. Don't get me wrong. I'm amused, but it's hard to watch.
Ruled on yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing emergency abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to
Biden wants to give a legal zero down interest for home loan. Yeah, I've been seeing some of the stuff that they want to get. They don't need anything. Send them back. I hate to say it, but send them back. Like, no, I don't have a problem with immigration. I don't have a problem with immigrants. But y'all cannot just Debo y'all way through the border and then think that y'all gonna come here and get more privileges than American citizens, and better yet, steal privileges from American citizens. Like that's just crazy. Like, you absolutely right, Marcus. That's crazy. It's crazy work.
Turn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, The federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion pill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many.
Everybody didn't want that, Trump. Everybody didn't want that, but it's valid. I do understand giving it back to the states. You know what I mean? I don't agree with absolutely no abortion. I think if a woman's life is in danger, then she should be allowed that. But I'm just saying, everybody didn't want that. Everybody didn't want that. But yeah, I didn't mind.
And how many this getting into other things, but every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was
just to clarify what I'm saying. You have to take into account exceptions. You have to, but you know what I mean. As a general rule, I am pro-life. I'm pro-life, so.
It was an end result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought. Kansas, I would say the same thing. Texas is different. Florida is different. But they're all making their own decisions right now. And right now, the states control it. That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions.
That's the way that it should be, though. I believe that it should be down to the states. I don't believe that the federal government should have the power to be able to make a decision like that. You know what I mean? I don't believe that the federal government should have a lot of the power to make a lot of the decisions. You know what I mean? I believe that a lot of decisions should be left up to the states. And I feel like it was better when that was more the case. I feel like that's just the less the federal government is involved, the better off. That's how I believe. Like I mentioned on here before, guys. I'm more along the libertarian line of thinking. I'm a right-leaning libertarian. Let's just say it like that. So I'm a conservative libertarian. You know what I mean? I'm not really a Republican, but I'm a libertarian with conservative values. So politically, I'm more along, letting people decide and letting the states do what they do. But I have conservative values socially, I guess is what you would say for the most part. But that's that's interesting. I feel like he's answering this question very well.
I'm a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also. And because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the baby aside and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby.
You know what else he said? He said that when they get it and when they bring the baby back to life, he said that they'll make the baby as comfortable as possible. These people, what they 100% are doing, they are 100% using Planned Parenthood to basically use, oh man, I hate to go down this deep, but they are 100% using the aborted fetuses and these unborn babies. They are 100% using their body parts and their cells in whatever freaky type of stuff they got going on. It's really insane. He's 100% telling the truth about that. The guy 100% said it. You can look it up. He said it with his nice little Southern accent, his nice little, you know what I mean? It was just sick. It's crazy work.
What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they're all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor, and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states, let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, they talk about that.
What the hell is he talking about? What is he talking about? You've been watching the Hebrew Israelites, Biden. What is this? What is this hopscotch? What are you talking about? What does the
But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
There have been many young.
Absolute failure to answer the question. Your Honor, non-responsive. Your Honor, non-responsive. Your Honor, non-responsive. What? What is he talking about? Boy, this is sad.
Women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world, considered the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which, frankly, they didn't. But they would have. Everybody wanted it brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back, and many presidents had tried to get it back. I was the one to do it. And again, this gives it the vote of the people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that. This is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion.
Wake up, Joe. Wake up, Joe.
Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should make.
Your Honor, non-compliance. Your Honor. Your Honor. Get him to answer the question. What?
That decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
So that means
that's like that woman. That's like that woman that they were trying to get into the judicial court that where they asked her. They said, "How would you define a woman?" And she said, "I don't know. I'm not a biologist." This is insane. What are you talking about? The woman asked you a specific question. And you go over here, you go on a diatribe about Roe v. Wade. Golly.
He can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
That is simply not true. the Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period, period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think.
Tiffany, I agree. He is pure. He is pure comedy. He is pure comedy. It's like watching him is just like you couldn't write this in the script. Just being honest, you couldn't write Joe Biden in the script. I really like the corn pop story. Are you Tiffany? You familiar with the corn pop story? Any of y'all familiar with the corn pop story? I like the corn pop story. I like the corn pop was a bad man. Ran with a bunch of bad dudes.
That's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign?
What's going on? Jeremy Thomas says it's called infanticide. 28 days after Jesus Christ. Why would somebody do that? That's so horrible. Why would somebody do that? That's crazy. But I've definitely heard. I've definitely heard of it though. Like what Trump is talking about with that dude, that governor from Virginia. He's 100% right. I saw the video. He's 100% right. It's just insane. It's like, why would you do that? Like,
that bill, I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration and border security. President Biden, a record number of migrants have illegally crossed.
So tell me something. Just based off of just watching their performance, can you tell that Biden just is not there cognitively? He's just not there. He's not there. Something is wrong. Something is just terribly, terribly wrong. Trump is snappy. He's witty. He's throwing his jabs. Biden is throwing his jabs too, but it's like,
across the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. Significantly, by the way, the Border Patrol.
What was that word? Another one of those made-up Biden words?
Endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where, when he was president, he was separating babies from their mother.
I ever seen when a robot malfunctions? That's what he's doing. It's just, what are you doing?
Put him in cages, making sure the families were separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law.
I looked that up. Those cages, that image that I remember this. There was a big thing because they were circulating these images. I'm not gonna go back and look through it all again. I'm past this point in my life, but those cages were not Trump's cages. 100%. I think they were. I think they were. I think those were either Obama's cages. I'm pretty sure those were Obama's cages. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure those were Obama's cages. But just thought I'd throw that out there. It was either Obama or Biden. One of those. Well, technically, it was either Biden or Biden in that case. Because yeah, in that case, it was either Biden or Biden because he was involved. Nameless Creation says Biden, aka Mr. Burns. Jeremy Thomas says he's a ghost in a shell. Trump could have annihilated him, but someone told him not to. Yeah, I feel like Trump was being kind of great. He's being kind of gracious so far, from what I've seen.
What's happened? I've changed it in a way that now
Appreciate y'all comments, by the way. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you.
you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he
Trump was looking just as confused as I was. Trump was literally looking just as confused as I was. I'm like, what? Oh, man. Yeah, well, if you look at how Trump was just looking at him, I agree, Tiffany. I think he felt sorry for him too. I think he felt sorry for him too. That was crazy. Wow.
said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are.
That happened. Just so you know, like, look, guys, Trump is not lying so far. That happened. That happened. The people weren't coming over here. They weren't coming over here all willy-nilly before Trump left office. So, I mean, that happened. Biden, the press secretary literally, and Biden both said that, come on over. Come on over.
From prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now. All terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere. All over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open. And
Nameless says, look at Biden's reaction. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. He says he let all them Mexicans in, but they ran Asians back up out here. Yeah, they wasn't playing that. Yeah, this is comedy, guys. This is comedy.
he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation.
It's sad, and it's sad to say that we might never see something like this again. Because Trump, I'm Trump 2024, so I'm hoping Trump win. And just to think, even if he does win, we'll never get to see this again.
I said, close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president.
He's so
Brandon,
petty.
just speak to him. But look, we had the safest border in history. Now we have the worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all over the place, including the people that are coming up in
Thank you,
caravans.
President Trump. President Biden?
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed three, and his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person come in and his administration, killed three Americans.
Non-desuka, what? What did he just say?
Soldiers. Killed three American soldiers. That's it.
That are coming up in
Thank you,
caravans.
President Trump. President Biden?
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed three, and his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person come in and his administration, killed three American soldiers. Killed
System
three American
overload, system malfunction, danger, or system overload.
soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there. I'm not saying that no terrorist ever got through, but the idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people, that's simply not true. There's no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades?
I'm telling you, man. Look, I always say that whenever Joe Biden gets done, whenever he's not in front of a camera, this man is willed They put him in a wheelchair, put a little white or a baby blue blanket over him, and then they hand him a juice box and sit him in the green room. This is not okay. This is not okay what they doing to this man. This is elder abuse. This is elder abuse.
And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world. And it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying, and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union, because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before. And you're reading it like these 3 incredible young girls over the last few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and he just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taken place. What's taken place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to.
Yeah, nameless. Some of these places are really bad. It's really actually kind of scary. I'm glad I don't live in one of them, though. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm glad I don't live in one of them. But yeah,
He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, and we have to get them out fast, because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all, and he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I had the highest approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all the things that I approved, choice that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved, they abandoned. We had by far the highest, and now it's down in less than half, because he's done all these great things that we did. And I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy. But he is
100% facts. 100% facts. But Biden didn't care if Trump signed it, if he made it an executive order, if he had the power to change it and overrun it. What they were going to do, and which is crazy, because it really is crazy. What they were going to do, they were going to disregard or get rid of Trump's policy, and then take the same policy and create it and then put it under their organization, so that they have all these people that are politically illiterate thinking that Joe Biden is the one that came up with it. It's really crazy.
Killed so many people at our border by allowing all of these people to come in.
President
and it's
Biden,
a very sad day in America.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every single thing he said is a lie. Every single one. For example, veterans are a hell of a lot better off since I passed the PACT Act. 1 million of them now have insurance, and their families have it. Their families have it because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being covered now. And his group opposed that. We're also in a situation where we have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living right next to one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
See that
President
anger?
Trump?
See that anger and that rage? Look at that. Biden is a thug. Biden is a thug. He's always been like that. I knew Biden was a thug when he told the corn pop story.
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up, and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said It was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
Four-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right, thank you so much.
Let's move to the topic of foreign policy. I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its third year. Former President Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. And they like me more than just about any of them. And that's based on every single bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, the president that knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned, and so he's got no love lost. But he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind, too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream.
Boy.
The difference is he never would have invaded.
I ain't gonna lie, this is hard to watch. This is hard to watch. Yeah, but oh, what happened? What happened? Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, it happens. I thought Tiffany went AWOL for a second. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I was just playing. Yeah, this is hard to watch. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it through all this either.
Ukraine never, just like Israel, would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything. No money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up.
And one thing I will say, I won't say that we didn't have any terror when Trump wasn't president, but we definitely didn't have any wars. That's one thing for certain.
Under him.
President Biden?
I've never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. Look, the fact of the matter is that we're in a situation where, let's take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing about it recently, not when he was president. They attacked. He said they're just having headaches. That's all it is. He didn't do a thing when the attack took place, number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan during that airlift. Number three, we found ourselves in a situation where if you take a look at what Trump did in Ukraine, this guy told Trump, do whatever you want and do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. And listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days, remember? Because it's part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish, Kyiv. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done. And they've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
President Trump,
I
if
never
come back
said
to you
that.
for 1 minute, I just want to go back to my original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the territory in Ukraine?
Acceptable. No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People being killed so needlessly, so stupidly, and I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast.
Biden don't like that. He's a warmonger. Biden, look at him. Look at him. This is just pathetic.
Before I take office.
Look at him. They took the camera off of him.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people. And he has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, and by the way, all that money we give Ukraine and from weapons we make here in the United States, we give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East. In October, Hamas attacked Israel, killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages. Among those held and thought to still be alive are 5 Americans. Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. President Biden, you've put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number one, everyone from the United Nations Security Council straight through to the G7 to the Israelis and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan I put forward. Which has 3 stages to it. The first stage is trade the hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a ceasefire with additional conditions. The third phase is the end of the war. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas, number one. They're the only ones standing out. We're still pushing hard from...
Oh, boy. This is elder abuse. To
get them to accept. In the meantime, what's happened? In Israel, we're finding that the only thing I've denied Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work very well in populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing Israel with all the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. One Israeli was accidentally killed, and it just stopped. We saved Israel. We are the biggest producer of support for Israel of anyone in the world. And so there are 2 different things. Hamas cannot be allowed to be continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for what using certain weapons among population centers.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent 100 billion, or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any, they were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting all, you got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President Biden, you have a minute.
I've never heard so much foolishness. This is a guy who wants to get out of NATO. You're going to stay in NATO? He's going to pull out of NATO. The idea that we have...
He said, this is the guy, this is crazy. Like I said, this is like another certain organization that, which, which doesn't necessarily need to be named. But you're just going to sit there and you said with certainty, oh, this is the guy that wants to get out of NATO. Then he asked him, oh, right, you want to get out of NATO? Right, he's the guy that wants to get out of NATO. It's stupid, man.
Our strength lies in our alliances as well. It may be a big ocean, but we're ever able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe? What happens if, in fact, you have Putin continue to go into NATO? We have an Article 5 agreement. Attack on one is attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in and control Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places. See what happens then. He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And by the way, I got 50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea, because they understand that this kind of dislocation has a serious threat to the whole world peace. No major war in Europe has ever been able to be contained just to Europe.
President Trump, just to follow up, would you support the creation of an independent...
I'm sorry. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't do another hour of this. Oh, God. I tried, guys. I tried. I really did. I really did. I'm going to be honest, though. Like, I'm not, oh, God, that guy is just something. Yeah, pray for Joe Biden, man. Pray for Joe Biden because he needs it. He needs help. I'm not a fan of him at all. I don't like him. I think the fact that he sniffs little girls, I think the fact that he, lets little kids rub on his leg hairs. I think all these things are gross. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, that just took all my energy that I had. So I'm gonna be, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Like I said, let me just say I appreciate everybody for coming through. Appreciate everybody that means well. You know what I mean? Everything that we do here, contrary to popular belief, is nowhere near revolving around the Hebrew Israelites. It just so happens to be something that I'm focusing on right now. But, there was a J-Red Unfiltered before I muttered a word about the Hebrew Israelites, and there will be a J-Red Unfiltered long after, the Hebrew Israelites find something else to do. But, at the end of the day, I just want to say I appreciate y'all for rocking out with me. We're gonna be back. We're gonna be back tomorrow. And yeah, we're gonna keep going up. So, like I said, I appreciate you for watching, and I'm going to go ahead and dip out. I'm going to go ahead and dip out. So, yeah, appreciate all of y'all. So, and thanks, man. Thanks, Nameless. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Jeremy. Appreciate you as always, Tiffany. You always holding it down. Really appreciate you, seriously. Marcus Harrison stopped through. And shout out to all the other regular people that that have been that stopped through. Michaela, Marcus Harrison, RJ, all y'all are dope. For real. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I genuinely appreciate y'all. Those of y'all that, like I said, that rocking before all this cult nonsense. You know what I mean? Because like I said, y'all be the ones that'll still be here when the cult nonsense is over with. So this episode was really more about y'all, because at the end of the day, I don't really care about victims. I don't really care about oppressed people, but I do care about making the culture better. So I appreciate y'all. So if any of y'all, like, seriously, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If any of y'all are bothered by the fact that I've been focusing on them so much, I genuinely apologize, but it's just been heavy on me. It has been heavy on me. But I'm just gonna be honest, because the way that they do things, I just don't like it. You know what I mean? I don't like it, and I'm not gonna apologize for that. I'm not gonna apologize for it. And there's so much down this rabbit hole that is the Hebrew Israelites that, you know what I mean, it's just not. It's not what we. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we got we got a lot more to uncover. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm going to my purpose in saying all that is that I am going to make more of an effort to diversify the content, because you know what I mean. You guys deserve more than just this, and that's the truth of the matter. That's what I'm trying to say, because I care about y'all. I don't care about an oppressed cult. I don't care about victims. I don't care about these people that don't amount to anything in life, and that the only way that they can succeed is by basically manipulating and twisting the Bible in order to manipulate and twist people. So other than that, I mean, it's just, like I said, I appreciate everybody that's come here with good intentions. You know what I mean? Like, the cult trolls. I mean, appreciate y'all too. A view is a view. But yeah. So salute to y'all that mean well. Genuinely. I appreciate y'all. But I'm not gonna belabor the point. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm J Red Unfiltered, and I am about to dip out. Salute.